Hi everyone and hi Dr. Fairuz. My name is Yee Ren and I'm one of the students from the class Business Ethics and Governance. So now I'm going to talk about the assignment 4. This assignment comprises of two questions and each questions have A and B sections. So the first question A, it asks that if the company does not have an internal whistleblowing policy, what should we advise the caller on the next appropriate or alternative course of action that he can take, and what are the advantages and disadvantages of these alternative actions? So I think that if the company does not have an internal whistleblowing policy, the first thing that the caller can do is to make contact with the management internally, including the human resources department. This action might not be followed by immediate actions taken by management, but it may help to raise the concerns among the management level of the company. So the advantage of this action is that it will draw more attention from the internal management department onto the matter, which finally may help to solve the problem internally if the management is strong enough to take solid action. However, the disadvantage is that the internal department sometimes they do not have the correct procedures, or they are just not strong enough to address the problem seriously. This will even put a whistleblower at risk. In addition, the other action that can be taken is that the caller might go for legal advice. The caller should seek help from legal experts or lawyers in addressing the problems, so that there will be legal advice and legally proper actions to report the problem. Usually, legal actions will take the reports to authority and government regulatory body. The advantage of this action is that the caller will be protected by laws, as the actions taken by the caller are legal. It also helps to take the problems externally, which allows strong authorities to investigate into the matter. However, the disadvantage for legal action is that it always involves high costs and is very time consuming. So another action that can be taken is to report the problem to regulatory bodies. Many industry has their own regulatory bodies to manage and regulate the industry activities. Hence, the regulatory body can serve as a reporting channel. The advantage is that the regulatory bodies always have the power and authority to investigate any wrongdoings and frauds, but the disadvantage is that the actions taken by the regulatory body might be very slow, and sometimes there are still some limitations on the power of the regulatory body on some specific matters. The next question 1b want us to recommend steps that can be taken to establish an internal whistleblowing policy. So I think that the internal whistleblowing policy is very important to protect the employee from a company who wants to report on any wrongdoing and unethical actions. This helps to shape a healthy, ethical, and transparent environment in a company. So the first recommended steps to be taken is to gather the support from senior management level. The senior management level is very crucial in endorsing the policy and transfer the message to all the employees. The second step that can be taken is to form a team to shape the policy. It is very important to include representatives from every department in the company to develop the policy together, so that every concerns, perspective, and challenges of different departments are considered in the policy. While the third step to be taken is to refer to legal regulations and laws. The policy should be based on various present laws and regulations related to the whistleblowing policy, so that the policy form can be aligned legally and maximize the protection for the employees. The fourth step is that the policy must have clear objectives and scope. The whistleblowing policy must have clear objectives and working scope which clearly defines what issues that can be reported. The fifth step is that the policy must protect the anonymity of the whistleblowers. This is to make sure that there are procedures for protecting the anonymous reporting of any wrongdoings. This also ensures that the employee feels safe and secure when they report. The sixth is to provide training programs for employees regarding the whistleblowing policy. This enables the employees understand the policy well enough and the procedures in the policy and how the policy can protect them in the whistleblowing process. The seventh step is that the investigation procedures must be clearly stated. This defines the procedures, the person involved, and the timeline for the investigation to be carried out, which in turn allow faster actions to be taken. The eighth step is that there must be a feedback system for the policy. This ensures that the report of the whistleblower is being followed up, actions have been taken, and what is the feedback of the action that has been taken. The ninth step is record keeping. There must be a systemic record for all the whistleblower incidents so that the company can refer back in the future. And the 10th step is to review and update the policy. The policy must be always reviewed and keep up to date so that any whistleblowing activities can be smooth. Well, the question 2A wants us to describe the stakeholder issues highlighted in the case. So I think that the first stakeholder issue highlighted is the employee well-being and health issues. The employee in this company tend to work overtime because the company is understaffed caused by the high turnover rate. This in turn increases the rate of workplace injuries and subsequently cause more medical leave to be taken by the employees. Another issue is the compliance with the law. The CEO knew that allowing high overtime costs is not a long-term solution and it is a breach of the Employment Act 1955, which the protection of the employee's right is questionable. However, it is the best choice and decisions to solve the current situations. Another issue is also related to employees, which is the dissatisfaction of the employees. There is a high staff turnover rate, especially for the talented employees. They are dissatisfied with the company training programs and question the succession planning for the company. Another issue is the lack of supervision. It stated that the attendance of the employees can be easily claimed for those who do not come to work. This is a serious breach of the company interests and rules as employees are getting paid without contributing to the work. This is possibly due to the lack of proper management for the employees. Another issue is the investor concerns. Due to the high staff turnover rate and high workplace injuries, investors might not be confident to invest in the company as they might question the ability of the company to manage workforce effectively. The last question, which is 2B, wants us to suggest how Avant Acute should address the stakeholder concerns in the context of corporate responsibility. Please do note that I will refer Avant Acute as AA in my following answers. So I think that taking corporate responsibility into concerns, AA should take care of the well-being of the employees. This includes reduce the overtime working to prevent fatigue at the workplace and promote safety in workplaces. And AA should also focus on human resources and management. AA should approach employees so that the cause of the high staff turnover rate and employee dissatisfaction can be known. The underpaying issue must be solved by raising the paying standard to competitive standard in the industry. Besides, I also think that AA should focus in the career development of the employees. The training program provided by the company must provide skill development and career advancement to the employees. There must be succession planning for the employee so that they are offered with growth opportunities and career advancement. AA should also make sure that there is enough supervision on the staff. The overtime working of the employee must be monitored and controlled so that the burnout of employee can be prevented. In addition, AA should also make sure that the company complies to legal and regulations. To achieve corporate responsibility, AA must make sure that the company do not breach any acts, includes the Employment Act again, so that the employees' rights are all protected. Thank you. That's all for me.